Why do people keep talking to me about lentil soup recently? Until recently, I've never heard about anyone eating lentil soup. I've eaten it but only a few times. Be me. Last week. Be at uncle's house. His wife asks me if I want lentil soup. Talks to me about the benefits of lentil soup. Cool, I guess. Next day go to aunt's house. Little cousin asks me where people buy lentils. 2 days later, go to cousin's house. She offers me lentil soup and eats some with me. Talks to me about how much she loves lentil soup while eating it. On the weekend get invited to small family gatherings since most of us don't care about COVID. The usual food is served. Burgers, tacos, hot dogs, barbecue ribs and a fucking container of lentil soup. Serve myself a burger and barbecue ribs. Sit on one of the tables they set out. One of my family members asks me if I've tried the lentil soup. No. They try to convince me to try it. I decline, telling them that the burger and barbecue ribs will fill me. 30 minutes later, my uncle brings me some lentil soup asking me to at least try it and that I won't regret it. Fine, whatever. Try the lentil soup and it tastes as average as any other lentil soup. It's good, huh, Anon? Yeah, it's pretty good. Be Sunday night. Texting my cousin after the family gathering. Asks me if I liked getting together with the family. Yeah, the food was good too. Yeah, the lentil soup was pretty good, huh? Yeah, but I ate more of the burgers and barbecue ribs because I need some meat on my bones. Who cares? It was a little party. Eat what you want. Who cares about your bones? What's with my family and lentil soup suddenly? Maybe I just need to take my meds and I'm thinking too much about it. I just keep thinking about how much of a coincidence it was. Lentil soup isn't even that good. This happened a while ago, and it is the most profound paranormal experience I have ever had. Be me, 20. Midnight. Me and my friend decide to walk the train tracks behind the house. We walk for some time, get spooked by sounds at a pond and decide to book it further. Armadillo Bro shows up, he is walking the tracks too and doesn't mind us. Some time passes, we are silent just listening and walking. Armadillo Bro gets fucking smoked by something, bush noises and screaming ensue. We continue walking a little faster and mourn our friend, probably a gator cuz we Florida boys. Armadillo shows back up 5 minutes later, closer to us. Very concerned about this, we keep a bit of an eye on him and lose track of time. 2 a.m. now, we see a city limits sign and realize we have gone way too far, so we turn back. Armadillo Bro goes his own way. The walk back seemed like it only took 30 minutes. Hop off the tracks at a trailhead of a park in my neighborhood. Walking up the trail, trying to get home. Friend stops. I stop. Friend, WTF is that? Is that a cop? He was on probation. Me, no way, it's 3 a.m. What I see is a man and a dog. About 50 feet in front of us, staring at each other. I yell hey. Both turn and look at me. The man runs off into the woods, abandoning the trail, no sound. The dog comes running at us, snarling. I put one hand on the ground, preparing to fight a random dog. Friend gets behind me, flicks his flashlight on. Dog begins to blur, it seems to be rolling rather than running. Hits shadow. Gone. No trace of either of them could be found, no sound in the woods, no footprints, nothing. What is your interpretation, brothers? Be me. Crawfishing. Local nature reserve, my bro and I dropped a crawfish pot and come back with a friend at 11:30 p.m. after we were off work. All knifed up because we get /tactical/ headlamps and shit, smoking cigs and talking about squatches. Tempting fate. Make squatch calls and bang trees to summon one from the woods. Get out to river, no one else there, tactically sneak to our pot. As soon as we turn away from the opposite bank, splunch big stone hits water. Friend says it's just trout, but he admits it sounded like a rock. We KNKW the difference. Trap empty, so we move it to a better spot, walking along the bank. The water behind us, every time we look away, splunch big rock. Happens 3 times as we walk about 500 feet up. Hear rocks shifting behind the line of bushes. Obviously something is flanking us and it slipped up a few times. We are knifed up and hear some other people ahead and got cocky. Me and friend get tactical with our lights, spotlighting back and forth for eye glints. Bro walks in river to drop trap. Over the next dike on the opposite of the river we see a bonfire and smell a cookout. See their flashlights through the bushes. As soon as he drops the trap, splush skrush big animal just jumped in the water at this bend in the river. He runs out the water, people behind the dike run up and join us shining lights towards whatever animal it was. Nothing, we scan the bank but see nothing. Back upstream we hear it again. Rock into the water. And again. Start to leave, light up new SIGs for courage. Lose trailhead. About 12:15 now. Find collapsed tent with the outline of a body, no smell. We shut up, draw our knives and get BSCK to the shore. Find trailhead and begin exfil. Metal Gear KO from Tarkov shit. As we walk parallel to the river we hear sploosh sploosh rocks dropping at even intervals along the river. Some noise in the bushes between us and the river, we all ignore it but we were walking hella fast. It was low-key fucked. Yeah, weird shit. Me 14. Sleep in shitty basement calls mother is crackware. Imp 4 spoop always in back corner of room. Only there when getting ready to go to bed and it's dark. Think nothing of it. Something tells me it's hovering on me while I sleep. Nothing crazy, just a light pressure on my back. Chilling the fuck out with ghost girl napping on my back. Probably sipping on my dreams. Good taste, my friend. Decide to try and catch her in the act one night. Wait up on the couch for her to show up. She does the usual standing in the corner. Nothing happens and I get bored and start to daydream. Start having really intense sexual thoughts. Like whoa vivid images fap.jpg. Stop and wonder for a second, usually need porn with my internet spoiled ass. Out of nowhere almost feel like Maya's dick being squeezed. What.jpg. Am flaccid. Feels like I have a phantom boner and is being touched in ways. Sit there and just bask in the WTF for a moment. Starts to feel really good. Get spooked, feel kind of used. Tell ghost to stop. Tell it to leave. It stops. TLDR, ghost almost made me come. PS. Yeah, it just left, never saw it again after that. And yes, I regret breaking up with my ghost girlfriend. I miss her every day. Be me, have friend, crazy right? Friend and I are both degenerate pot smokers. Hang out every other week or so, usually kick back, play video or watch some conspiracy bullshit. Friend smokes way more often than I, doesn't get high at all anymore. Hanging with friend one day, he tells me he did shrooms. Talks it up heavily, explaining how he perceives life differently, feels emotions of the world, etc. Curious about it myself, but never around for the opportunity, nor do I go out of my way to seek it. Life happens, due to time constraints, end up hanging with friend less and less. Several months pass, finally meet up with him. He now has a meth head GF with 2 kids living with him. Both are now severely addicted to methamphetamine. Avoids actually telling me for a minute, which I assume is due to embarrassment of the fact. Literally watching him tweaking out while we chill, he is now completely restless, scab marks over his arms, you know the ones if you've been around this. He finally confides in me that he does it, but claims him and GF are trying to stop. To put it bluntly, GF is too addicted, doesn't want to stop, but friend won't make her stop due to not wanting his companion, pussy, to leave. I calmly explain to him the repercussions of such a pursuit but ultimately he is tweaked out and the decision lies with him. Leave friend's house after giving him a hug and wishing him the best of luck. The logician in me is screaming at what the future holds. Fast forward in time, friend is now homeless, no job, but meth head GF is still with him. Cannot even hold a conversation without stalling, freaking out. Would friend have inevitably gone down this path regardless? Did shrooms impact him negatively? Is a drug addict merely a drug addict? Was it just the meth head cutie? I like to believe it was just lack of mental preparedness. I still hope for the best, that maybe one day friend will be better. Be me. Enrolled in work study through school that's hard as fuck. Inside small space all day doing the same shit. Get home every day stressed and miserable from the long hours. Feel strong urge to just chill outside on my patio. Do this for a few weeks, too tired to socialize or masturbate. One day I smoke a bowl, put my headphones on, and listen to some psychedelic rock solos while watching some birds in my garden looking for worms. Ponder the natural order of the earth, how the elements nurture us from the day we're born like a mother's love. The lotus flower only grows in the dirtiest bodies of water. It sinks to the bottom of the pond every evening, yet floats to the surface to re-blossom every morning, much like the karmic cycle of the soul. All 7 planets are in constant orbit around the Sun, much like the orbital rotation of each electron that pivots around the atoms that are a part of us. Life as we know it is a series of constant motion. Mathematical derivatives quantify energy we cannot see. These vibrations and frequencies don't require math to conceptualize in other dimensions, they are just known by feeling. Internalize the dynamic people have with nature, lesser minds seeking control over something or someone they can't contain nor understand. The very same people who advocate for the earth never take time to understand or study it in solitude. Even the biggest tree-hugging liberal probably spends most of his time inside on a computer. Tapping into these thoughts while listening to music was intense. Felt a soothing pressure on the top of my head and in the middle of my forehead, like a tidal wave of cosmic love. Started crying like a crazy person over the goodness of what is, and always will be. Sorry I got sidetracked guys, I'm typing this outside and that feeling came over me again. What's happening to me onions? What's this therapeutic pressure on my head I get when I feel like this? Be me, 6-7 years old. My bedroom is upstairs, my parents' is downstairs, down a hallways, around a corner. Don't remember leaving my room. Don't know how I got downstairs. Don't remember waking up mom. Don't remember mom picking me up and holding me. Do remember being filled with incredible dread and terror of something unknown. Shivering in abject terror, having apparently suffered an awful nightmare. Realize that my awareness is primarily above and behind the recliner, so I see my mom holding me as I'm shivering. I'm a little dude, but my awareness is like 6-7 off the ground, a viewpoint I wouldn't have until I grew up. Can also see out of my eyes, but this perceptive center is somehow secondary, can perceive both simultaneously. State doesn't last long at all, out-of-body perceptive center fades. Eventually calm down enough to be put back to bed, but don't really remember this part. Mom got my kitty Bible and found a bunch of verses referring to being afraid, wrote out the references to them in the front of it. Never happened again. Never slept walked again. I'm pretty convinced it was a sort of out-of-body experience. I think that might have been the last nightmare I've had, too. Most of my dreams are at least semi-lucid and they're never frightening, as I know, at a base level, that I'm dreaming and none of it is fully real. For example, one of my dreams had me driving my car down a tree-lined lane, when Pennywise the clown, literally, yes the one from the Stephen King book, stepped in front of my car to get me to stop, so he could attack me. I found a metal rod and tried to telepathically pull him into the rod, to impale him, but he managed to resist me, so I beat him to death with the rod instead. I woke myself up muttering out loud that I had found him. Let's hear about some of your dreams, /x/, especially if they were really vivid, memorable, out of place, or were followed up by some weird experiences when you woke up. The bar ain't gotta be high. Be me. An extremely vivid dream, almost sure it could have been real. Walking through rural, country area with a group of 20 or so people. We seem to be a search party, but unsure as to what we are searching. Pitch black dark, and the moon isn't visible, so it must be a new moon. Using torches for light, except the torches are a long metal rod with a halogen light bulb stuck on the end of it, almost steampunkish. Walk through a set of brick houses, taking note of them, but nothing too eventful happens. Continue on past the houses in our search, and I take the lead of the party. Pass some trees talking with one another when someone notices a noise in the distance. Hushed as everyone goes silent. Sounds like gushing water. It must be a river. Everyone gets excited about a river like we're discovering it for the first time. We all hurry towards the sound. Wake up from dream. Shitty ass dream, I never got to see the river. But this dream is my most vivid dream I've ever had. Even though it's boring, the level of detail I can recall makes it almost like a real memory. Be me, 19. Go to a mixer with a couple of friends. Shoot the shit with a girl and her group. We quickly become friends and one of them opens up about how she's into witchcraft. I've been studying occult shit for 3 years by that point. I assume she's one of the retards who's really into crystals and knows jack shit about magic theory. Says she has a Ouija board and asks if we'd like to try it out later that night. We all agree. It's now 4 in the morning. We're to my bro's house because he was gone for the week. Everyone is shit-faced but still functioning. Girl takes out her Ouija board and we all gather in the living room. She asks us to take off our shoes and says retard Wicca prayer. The 6 of us place our hands on the triangle thing. She asks if there's anyone there with us tonight. Now that's fucking hilarious.